Hey there everybody, it's SeKo Beercraft here having a Lighthouse beer. Premium craft beer, why not? Playing random, but I got Zerg up against VirtualSoul. It sounds like a bad 90s band. Down here in the bottom left is the blue Terran. Wanted to try something a little bit weird. This guy was the Silver League and I'm in gold currently because I haven't been playing that much. I had over 1,000 bonus pool points sitting around, which tells you how little I've been playing right now. And for some reason, because I'm lower in gold leagues, I haven't been playing. It's matching me up against like silver and bronze league players, and sometimes that's really fun to just kind of trounce on people. But other times you feel for people in those situations. So I wanted to go for something a little bit funkier with the kind of builds that I'm going to go after here. We'll see what I got up my sleeve. Setting out an early drone scout, I almost always do this because you can just be a jerk, and sometimes if you kill, an SCV building a structure or two, you can really set people behind. So I generally try to be aggressive in my early game pieces to the best of my ability. Yes. Gas isn't started yet. I generally first come in here and spot immediately to see if there is gas being taken, just to let me know if I'm going up against Reapers or if it's a fast expand. Do see the gas just started after this, so I know I've got a little bit of time here. Gonna try to punch this SCV in the mouth a little bit. My SCV totally bugged out on the side of that building, but whatever. And he's not gonna chase me, and that's fine. Back at home, I did go for a pool first because it is gonna be Reapers. Overlord's heading into position. Yeah, everything is as it should be. Everything is as it was intended. Yes, sexy logo. Gas started as well. I'm going to want speed. I want to control the map. But I see I've had a little bit of second thoughts with this drone here. I'm going to come back and do something a little outside the box. I'm going to steal his goal base. I was considering taking mine. But I'm going to use this as a bit of a launch pad for crazier things to happen. Reaper's just about to finish up. I've got a queen started on my side. Well, Reapers take a long time to build, in case you didn't realize that. You can get 2 Marines done pretty much in the same time as 1 Reaper. And my Overlord will be in position. I'm just going to check to see if he's going to go for the Reaper expand, the good old Reaper expand. I'm sure a lot of people feel very safe with the good old Reaper expand. But my intention is to punish him for the good old Reaper expand. Reaper is chugging along. My queen will be done in plenty of time. He does not see Sneaky Hatch. A couple lings out. Speed is started. Speed takes a good chunk of time as well, though, right? Pretty much 2 in-game minutes. And I do see the command center starting right here. Double Reaper on the way. I actually did keep that 1 Zergling alive. Natural regen for the win. 8 more Zerglings on the way. A little aggressive out of me. He is doing some good micro away from the Zerglings. I'll get a few more hits on it here with my queen. If I microed that a bit better, maybe I could have killed it. Just bounced around a bit more. He doesn't see the rest of these lings pop, though. I don't think he realizes how much heat I intend to bring at him. And it's very important that this does damage, but as you can see, I'm already falling quite a long ways behind in the worker count. He has got his bunker on the way, and I see that there is a bunker on the way. So I'm on a bit of a clock, as I like to say. 12 Zerglings. It's a good amount of Zerglings. And I've got this base finished up, another queen, and I'm going to start mining here. I was considering running down some drones to this pace, but because I know that there was at least 1 Reaper out, if I got spotted, the entire jig would be up, and then I'd be sad. Speed is now finished, and he should see these. It should come in through his vision for me to run past him, and yes it does. But he doesn't have any Marines finished yet. He's just going to try to finish off this wall off, but it's not a tight wall, and this is going to be a big problem. He doesn't even come back with his Reapers here. First thing I really want to do, though, is target down this bunker. I do not want any units to get inside of it. He wanted to make a run for it, but he thinks otherwise. I'm actually going to be able to get in here and get a, actual few SCVs, which is quite decent. I actually got 7 total SCVs, 8 now. tank, doing a little bit of friendly fire. End up losing almost all my Zerglings. But at this point, infestation pit is done. Big pile of drones come out. So I've actually taken a huge worker lead at this point. I'm up by 13. Lair's finished, and like I said, infestation pit is just about done. Do need more queens down here though. This is the first time I've ever tried this strategy, so you guys are going to have to bear with me on this a little bit. It's a little unpolished, but it was really fun to try. Retaking this base, dropping the double mules, is going for that third CC, so he's really macro focused. Maybe he watches a lot of pro Starcraft and is really into that kind of thing, which is probably good for me. If he actually pushed out here and just decided to go for an attack, I'd probably just die. But I really don't have any idea what his plan is. I was considering sacking this Overlord, but as you can see I'm already supply blocked. Don't really feel like giving up too much more than I need to, because it's very expensive to build Swarmhosts. And I can't just send in like 2 Swarmhosts. I actually need to get enough in here to make it worthwhile. Creep is on the way. Swarmhosts coming out. And I'm actually going to start building a few stack defenses because I've got money now while I'm building things. Because I'm going to be able to do a bit more of a push with this here. Double Reapers are coming across. Wants to look for this hatchery that's way delayed. At least the drone will just get down in time. And as long as he's shooting at this, he's not really attacking my workers, which is I'm happy about. More Swarmhosts on the way, and he's building up pretty good at this side. Next gas is going down, starport, and he's going into bio play. Little bit of queen micro here, trying to focus down the weakened one. And did end up getting that, which is cool. I still think he's got no idea that over here is this giant base of Swarmhosts and things already in progress. More on the way. It's very hard to go low econ Swarmhosts, which is why I took the gold base and not something else. During Locusts is started now. These guys will have a very short lifespan. Good thing for me is they're free units. Why not? Going to move up some defenses without having that extra time for them. I do need to make sure that they are protected by units here. And you need that Spore Crawler in case they decide to go Banshee. That's one of the first things that players will do if they see Swarmhosts out, is really try to get the Banshee play in effect. Another base is down. And I actually got a pretty okay economy going back at this base here. During Locust, about halfway done. So this is keeping him a little bit pinned, but you know, the good thing for him is he's actually doing pretty good in economy himself. He's got all the tech he really needs to. 3 SCVs at a time. And now this part, he can actually start getting out, you know, medevacs. They're going to be able to put pressure on my bases. Swarmhosts aren't really getting close enough yet. They are dying off because they don't have enduring locusts. But now that I got a few more coming out, should be able to get a little bit closer. This base has really served no purpose. I just had extra money that I couldn't spend, so I decided to get out another base. More queens happening. I do need to get those in place. I wanted those there specifically in case more reapers or drops happen. And we can see there are medevacs on the way right now. Because the enduring locust is finished, at least these Swarmhosts are getting closer. I did build an overseer to kill off that widow mine. So units wise, we can see these actually got a massive worker lead right now. It looks like he wants to try to go for a drop on top of these, and it's not bad timing because right now I actually don't have all of my defenses in place. But the drop is a little bit unfortunate, I guess you can say. Almost loses a medevac full of units. Got +1 on the way. For his side of things, a little unfortunate for him is his upgrades really haven't taken a front seat here. No engineering base producing any upgrades. Stim is done and combat shields on the way, which is nice. But that's not quite enough here. I believe that drop is on the way up here. I did make a big pile of Zerglings back at home just to be able to defend against something like this. Trying to make some more drones because I know my economy is crap right now. 3 queens, a bunch of Zerglings against unupgraded Marines. It shouldn't do too bad. But this is me trying to micro on 2 fronts right now, and it's actually a little bit more complicated than you might think. This was kind of a weird double drop thing. I didn't obviously see that at the time. Some Zerglings not in the combat there, so I'm actually getting a little bit picked off. Did kill one Marine on the low ground that was being weird. Zerglings on the way, more spine crawlers at the front. So I'm actually pretty vulnerable, but happily for me, he's actually targeting down like buildings as opposed to killing off all my workers. Like he's going after one of my evolution chambers that's not researching anything. Big pile of Zerglings about to pop. Queen does pick off one of those medevacs there and then not help out with anything else ever again. So that finally does get cleaned up there. On this side, I'm not really making any progress. He has a lot of tanks in position here. This is a mega drop that he's getting built up as well. So I don't really have enough Swarmhosts to bust this, and I don't have any other tech. So for me, this is about as much as I'm really willing to invest into this. I'm just going to keep them contained. But back at home, I actually have to try and build up an actual game to some extent now. Almost caught up in workers, some stacked defenses at home, lots of Zerglings. But this is a really, really huge drop that he's got on the way, coming to take care of some business. He is going to boost underneath. The Zerglings are in position along with a lot of spines and spores. A little bit of confusion on the drop there. Ends up costing him a good chunk of units. And one of the medevacs as well. Didn't notice that at the time, but that's obviously quite unfortunate for him. $14 more drones on the way. You can see how serious I'm taking this drop of his. Gets an Overlord, and that's actually kind of bad. I didn't realize how supply blocked I was at that very moment. Building more Overlords right now. Try and keep up with that. We both have a bit of a bank going on as well that we can't really seem to spend. These Locusts are barely getting off a shot. They're not all lined up at the same time, so they're not really going to get a ton of damage in. But because they're staggered, at least, I know that these Zerglings shouldn't be attacking this far out. They are at least doing a little bit better with the spine crawler in position as well. So this is actually pretty hazardous for me, but once again, what he's attacking isn't the smartest thing. He's going after this hatch, and we'll see how close he can get here. Try my best not to panic and pull everything. Zerglings come out now, come the drones. Hatch, super low, 17 hit points. I thought he was going to just bum rush this base again here, but he just ends up sacrificing the rest of his Marines, so a little bit poor on the control on that side of things. Base going down over here, which I believe I see. Yeah, I do have the watchtower, so I do see that he's got that command center in position. He's going to try to push out and get a little bit of damage in here. I do spot this with my creep, so I'm going to pull back in time. Again, his units are all unupgraded right now. My Locusts are 1-1, so they're at least a little bit beefier. And you can see I've got double Spire going behind this as well. I had a ton of money at that point, so I'm like, well, let's go for a big transition. And we see my Zerglings actually killed off that command center when he wasn't paying attention. Loses a lot of units. He's got a supply lead, but he can't really throw away units that easily. Economy-wise, 50 drones on essentially 2.5 bases. Not too disappointed about that. And the great thing about mining this out is if this game did end up going like 2 hours long, at least I'm mining out bases on his side. Well, I should have took this one as well. That'd have been cheeky. Got another command center ready to move over. Zerglings are completely unupgraded as well. Well, they got +1 armor, I suppose. I guess I did make an extra couple of Swarmhosts here. At this point, I know that this is almost forfeit here, so I'm going to try to dance around a bit with my units, get into a bit of a better spot. Base is almost mined out. Another base in production. So I'm going to put my Swarmhost into a different location. I'm going to try to put pressure on this base away from the siege tanks, because I can't really break these siege tanks. Big pile of mutas, and this is a bit of an all-in for me. I spent a ton of my bank to get on these mutas out, and they really need to pay off. I can't really afford for them to get killed, and when I'm going up against this really heavy Marine style play, it's quite risky. He did throw away most of his Marines trying to defend there, but his siege tanks are now going to get into a better position. A little bit of a delay on the siege up there is going to cost him just about 3 tanks on a couple of units. Great timing on the next piece of locusts, though. He ends up getting 1 Swarmhost, but not quite enough there. Mutas are on the way, and this is my opportunity. I know all of his tanks are in one spot. What I'm hoping is that, just as what's happening now, he's pulling his Marines around to the other side, leaving his tanks wide open. This is really his entire defense. So he loses all of his tanks. He does clean up that side, but those tanks were his very important defense there. And I have 20 mutas out right now. Pretty good chunk. I would consider that a chunk. Now I'm going to use my Swarmhost now more in this position to try to zone out my opponent. And use my mutas to come back around on the other side. This guy just has not had good luck with timing those Swarmhosts. He does end up getting a couple of them, but the muta's going to come in here now and essentially clean this all up. I haven't lost any of them yet, essentially, in this position. And this base is really, really important to him. He does want to expand down to his natural third here as soon as the creep is gone. But he is going to lose his planetary. And once again, these Swarmhosts, the locusts here, are really zoning out his army super well. And he is going to GG out of the game. Pretty fun little game. I think my Proxy Swarmhost strategy has legs. Maybe more against a Protoss player than a Terran player. But it was still pretty fun. SeKo Starcraft, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll talk with you later.